Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hex the Patriarchy event in conjunction with the Feminine Rage Collective. So excited to have you here. My name is Dana Schmidt Johnson, and I am the creator, but certainly not the leader of the Feminine Rage Collective. As a collective, we want everyone to be involved and created this space as a way to connect and work together and continue the fight for women in all of the ways. I also run Sign and Symbol, an astrology platform. If that's of interest to you, I have spent the last several years leading and teaching pagan practices. So I come to this Hex the Patriarchy event with a lot of knowledge and a lot of consideration for how to do this in a way that is conscious and in a way that brings the feminine forward without being destructive. So if that's for you, stay tuned. A couple of disclaimers here before we get started. One, this recording that you're watching right now is two parts. I forgot to record the original at the beginning. Fortunately, we start the recording during the ritual itself. So, you'll kind of see two parts here, this introduction to Hex the Patriarchy, and then it'll switch over to the live event so that you get to act as if you're in that moment. It's very much, there's no wrong timing to come to this ritual. So you'll be able to tap into the energies that are coming through, even though this recording was done prior to this. The other thing is that during the event itself, I was quite ill, did not really realize how ill I was at the time. So please bear with me through some vocal shifts and coughing fits. I've done my best to mute, but thank you for your patience in the process and in waiting for this final recording on YouTube. If you happen to be hitting it up in real time, there is no bad timing here, and we need all of the energy that we can get in this ritual and in this hex to bring it together. So let's talk a little bit about that. What is the patriarchy, right? Let's just kind of name some of these things that we're doing. And the patriarchy is a system of power. It's a social system that privileges cisgender, heteronormative men, and that doesn't mean that just men benefit from this either. A lot of women participate unknowingly, even in the patriarchy, simply by giving their power away without realizing it. It's a system of control and a system of oppression, and we are trying to disconnect from that right now because the institutional and cultural influences that have driven the patriarchy for so long are everywhere. And once you start to see it and once you start to recognize the system itself, you will see it everywhere and it will enrage you. One of the reasons we created the Feminine Rage Collective in the first place. So just be very highly aware. Being and watching this, you probably already are, but we wanted to name it and recognize what it is here today that we are in fact hexing, what we are trying to eliminate in our current system. So with that in mind, what is a hex? So this etymology comes from Hagazusa. I am probably mispronouncing that terribly, but this is a wild sorceress in Nordic mythology. She straddled the fence between the mortal world and the spirit world, and prior to the Inquisition, hex was not an action, but rather a person. Somebody referred to who was considered to be a slut or a comedian or a woman who flew through the sky at night. And then after the Inquisition, it became a person who practices magic. all of these kind of tie in very, very closely together. And so it has become something that is more of an action, more of a verb. We are performing a hex. But if you'd like to take some ownership over the term and over even the action itself and really embody this sorceress, this meaning of that derived from the word hag, take it, own it, and be the hex itself. So we are not going to use hexes to harm anyone, because the reason is that Hagusa herself said that you don't want to do anything that wouldn't basically come back to bite you in the butt in the long run, right? If you wouldn't want this punishment for your own son, don't put that hex out there into the world. And so we're coming at it from a very deep place of love and consideration for all people and wanting to make the world a better place. And that is what we're doing here today. So let's talk a little bit about maybe what that next step looks like in the matriarchy and how that differs so much from the patriarchy itself. This balance, this nurturing leadership, very different from the control and the power that is required of patriarchy. Offering bodily autonomy, equity to all persons. And that looks in and feels so much better than the control and force that is used today. And ultimately, trying to build a sustainable and communal way of life, right? This, all persons are here on the planet. Nobody asked to be here, and we all have to work together, and the current system isn't working for us. So we are here to pull in these energies, the balance, the nurture, the community, the sustainability, rather than the tear down warfare of patriarchy. So the big difference between the two is the thought intelligence that is required of patriarchy to just keep everything in the mind. This is the way we should do things. This is how I've thought about it. This is what we need to do, as opposed to what the matriarchy has a lot of, and that is bodily intuition. We have this amazing system already born and bought within us that tells us what we need and what we need and are able to give to the world. And so it's quite literally this moment of off with their heads with the patriarchy. We're going to go from using this power thought system to using this communal intuition in a really beautiful way. We're going to take out that system that has been taking over the universe, and we are going to bring our intuition, our feelings, our emotions, our knowingness of the 10,000 years of humanity, and knowing what is best in here, in our hearts, in our systems, right? To rid us of anxiety, rid us of fear, work together in ways that allow so many to thrive from a heart-centered space. So with that, here is kind of the rundown of how this grand conjuring, this hex, is going to work today. We're going to start with a body activation. We're going to get some movement, going to get some breath, going to get some real connection to that body and out of our heads. Then we'll move into the hexing ritual itself, followed by a sound meditation to solidify this energy. And then we brought everyone back into this space for some sharing. If you are watching this video, please feel free to share your comments. We love getting feedback. So feel free to share what you felt, how you connected with the ritual itself, and what you might want more or less of in the future. And then we finish up this ritual with some calls to action, because we're not here just to feel good. We are here to make a difference. And so we're going to offer some different ways of doing that during this time. So, with that, here are a few things you might want for the ritual itself. And this is a great place to pause, because this is where we switch over to the live recording. Candles, crystals, sage and oils, something that you could taste, and just a calm, reflective space for you to move and do whatever you need to. Really, the focus here is to bring in the five senses, bring in and activate the body through these things, through the things you can see, the candle, the lighting, through things you can touch, having a crystal or maybe a squishy, something tactile that you can feel with your hands or press against your skin. Sage or oils, something you can smell, something that's going to bring those olfactory senses into play. The tea candy bit is something you can taste, right? Something that will activate all of that knowing in your body. And the calm is to help with your own internal system. So now is a great time to pause, gather those items, and join us for the Hexing the Patriarchy ritual. So glad to have you here for it. So as you gather your items, go ahead and get into a comfortable spot, The screen is going to go through these items, but it's really not much more than that. So let's start with, if you have a candle, I should always remind everybody, fire source as well, something I tend to forget. But go ahead and let's collectively light our candles, bring light into our space, into our minds. And if you're in a place to close your eyes, you can do that. Of course, we're kind of doing all of these things together. So the candle is what you can see. You can see the flame, you can feel the flame. We're all brought in together with our eyes give us a lot of information to our brains, and our bodies. So if you have something to smell, go ahead, and maybe that's sage. If you want to light a piece of sage, light a bit of, get that going. And really take in the smell. Like, what is that scent? What does it remind you of? Where does it take you to? And put your crystal or whatever it is you're holding in your hands and really maybe look at it, inspect it, really feel that energy. I have a selenite myself today, bringing in that cleansing energy. You may want to hold this on a part of your body. I'm going to put it on my throat because I need it right now. But maybe your heart, maybe that sacral chakra, maybe your crown, whatever needs a little bit of love right now. Whatever you brought to taste, go ahead and taste that, your candy, your tea. And sit in that. Bringing us out of our heads and into our bodies. All of our senses. Of course, we have the music in the background. And as you get your senses going, I want you to imagine that you yourself are a white light. Wherever this may come from in your body, it just magically appears inside of you. And it starts to grow. White light is cleansing and purifying and touching every part of your body from the inside out. It's taking over all of your organs, moving out to your skin, starting to maybe tingle. Maybe you feel it in your toes. Go ahead and you can start to kind of move your body. I'm going to switch the meditation music to more of a drumming sound. I apologize if any advertising comes in on this. We are using royalty-free sound. This energy starts to fill you. You want to get up and stretch your body, or if you're sitting, just simply stretch your arms up and out. Careful of your candle. Move your neck. Shake out your arms. Feel your hips. If you feel like getting up and moving with the music, you totally can. Remind your muscles that this white light, this purifying energy is throughout you and activating every cell in your body. Just going to stay with this music for a little bit. So do what is comfortable for you in this moment. You're sitting, uncross your legs. And as we activate our bodies, that white light is growing. It's starting to actually move outside of ourselves now into the space that you're occupying. Stretch out your arms. How far can you go? How big can you make this energy? As our bodies continue to get bigger and this energy and this white light grow, we are going to start to move into our ritual where we are currently dropped in with this white light. Don't lose your white light, because now this white light is going to expand far, far beyond you. extend it through the room that you're in. Just make it so big. Make this white light fill the space. And as you do that, it moves into your whole house. You live in a building, it's moving into all the rooms, all the spaces. It's taking up so much space. Let it continue to expand. Let it flow out the doors, out your windows. Even if they're closed, this white light cannot be stopped. Moves onto your block, into your community. It's purifying and it's strengthening. Into your city. It's growing into your state. At this point, you may be connecting with other white lights. Feel the other energy, feel the connection. Reach out your hand and hold the other white lights, or put your hands out and receive it. Continue to grow that white light now beyond all borders, the country, the continent, spilling out into the ocean, covering the entire world. We are now connected. Every single one of us, our white lights are connected and bring each other's white lights to grow even more and connect with this energy. And as it connects to the world, it connects to that outside of the world, the oxygen, what's holding us in as the earth. It's spreading outside that to the entire universe, through our galaxy, through our solar system. This energy is unstoppable. And even as we leave that light in the universe, we're going to bring it back down to the earth energy, connecting together with this light, covering the entire earth. And this energy, this bodily intuition, this feminine collective energy now starts to dissolve that which does not serve it. The white light becomes brighter as a result. And the patriarchy starts to diminish. Maybe it's running, maybe it's trying to escape. Cover it. Grab your white light and hold down that energy, making the patriarchy smaller, smaller. You can see it shrinking and collapsing in front of us as our white light gets so bright and starts feeding into everything on Earth. All of our systems, all of our ecosystems, all of the people, all of the animals, all of the trees, the micellar system that lives below our feet. We are all connected as one, and this bright, beautiful, feminine intelligence, the shrinking patriarchy As we sit here in meditation, I'm going to start with 417 hertz to wipe out that patriarchy, to connect with the feminine, divine feminine, and your own intuition. Continue to feel the expansion of the white light, even if you're just feeling it in your own body. They're all connected. Sit here in this meditation of this particular frequency. And enjoy the creation vibes that come from this sacral chakra energy. Feel at any time like you're disconnecting, go back to those senses, drink your tea, hold your crystal, smell something wonderful. Come back to the body. Just want to place your hands on your second chakra space, that area. If you're a woman, take one deep, big breath. Pulling back your energy into yourself. Feeling the connection, love, peace, the harmony for the world. You're ready. Go ahead and release and come out to the sound meditation. Go ahead. Turn that down. Oh, there we go. Okay, guys, it's your turn. I'm in a coughing fit, so I sincerely apologize. But if anyone would like to come off mute or raise your hand, we can bring you off mute. I would love to hear anyone, your experience in this. Please share. You don't even have to come on camera.
I will come off camera because this was exactly where I needed to be tonight. I needed to center myself within the world, and I didn't even know I needed to. That aspect of my personal life that is so community driven, I need to remember to focus on that collective capability more often.
Yeah, we really have it in us, and I think it's easy to forget that when we're being bombarded with messages that's so very much American independence, especially, right? Like, it's all about the self, and even if you're in a community, it's almost like, how can you get ahead, or what's in it for you? And our power is in our numbers. Women are 51% of the world, right?
And
Like,
I think that I tap into the collective where there isn't that need for numbers, but there is the need for voice, that metaphysical feeling of connectedness that, quite frankly, the patriarchy and most men don't tap into on a regular basis, if they even know to.
exactly. That's the mind versus the body.
Well, and separating the communication and making it hard for women to speak and chatter and the word gossip, it was just spreading of information, becoming of one. It is a way for the patriarchy to make it harder for us to remember that we are an us and we need to embrace the us.
Yes, we are. There's a
Lisa,
couple.
Lisa, to add to that, like, there's 7 of us and us in this group right now, and I know one of them personally. So the us, there's a metaphysical, tangible thing about being a woman that is connected.
Absolutely. And it was beautiful, the light starting within. And Dana, when you get to and maybe you've met another light, I loved knowing that there were other people here in this moment, women in particular, that I was like, yes, they're here. I have found you. Let's do this.
And even in a space where we're all sitting at home or wherever we are, we can still connect together. It's an amazing feeling. Jillyn, I see that you came on camera. I didn't know if you wanted to say something too.
Oh, I was just thinking about my own process in this. Hello, hi, and thank you. And you got my name right, so double thank you. Even as I was up and I was moving like the white light out and through me, part of unraveling patriarchy, even within myself, like the sneaky thoughts that creep in, like, am I doing this even right? And like, right, we're so taught to judge every bit of everything versus just trusting our bodies and letting it flow out. And so I'm always like attending to clearing out patriarchy even out of my internal thoughts. And as I re-embody myself. Yeah. Anyway, and I totally resonated with Lisa about like it felt so good to know that there were other women out there also sending light out and connecting with me as I'm dismantling patriarchy collectively and internally. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, it is something we will always have to remind ourselves of because of the, I don't know, 10,000 years of patriarchy. How long has this been going on, right? We are not going to overnight be able to override that. That system that we've been grown up in, that we've been inserted into just by being born on this planet at this time. So, yes, guiding ourselves to remember, hey, this is an ongoing process. It's a practice, right? It's not this isn't like the World Series. This isn't a something you win, right? We have to continually practice it and grow and keep growing as much as we can into the future until the balance shifts. So I'm really grateful that you all showed up here today to help shift the balance. There were a couple comments in the chat. Sadie said, love this. I hope you do more. Yes, yes. I think we can bring in more practices. For example, I know how to do a hex tablet, but it just requires like a little bit more preparation. So I knew that doing more of a meditative thing today would be really good as a way to get started. So I hope we do more as well. And then Dawn said, thank you for this. Thank you, Dawn. And thank you everyone for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. With that, we do have a place for donations if you feel compelled to. Where this money is going, we won't touch it until we tell everybody that and we all collectively agree in the collective. But, you know, there's a lot of good things that we can be doing or can be doing as we go forward. So whether that, you know, is marketing for bigger events like this, or, you know, I've even considered, hey, should we start something like a bail fund when women start getting arrested for, you know, just being in existence? Yeah, I've seen some thumbs and head nods. Yeah. So if you feel called to, feel free. But free event, these will always be free.
Dana, is there a way for us to put, I don't know if all of us are in the feminine collective, but is there a way for us to maybe tonight from this or tomorrow morning put where should we focus our energies and potentially our finances?
Absolutely. I think it's a wonderful idea.
Crowdsourcing on that.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. So don't worry, your money isn't like just going to disappear. All right. So the calls to action, right? Now that we're activated, I don't know if it's because I'm sick, but I'm kind of sweaty. You know, I'm feeling all the white light energy right now. There's obviously so many ways, right? Donating to your favorite causes like the ACLU, huge right now. Women's marches, it is Women's History Month, and International Women's Day is on Saturday. So there's lots of marches being planned all around the country, probably around the world. So I think just like Women's March is putting on a lot of those, but just keep tuned in. We have lots of good share stuff over in the collective on our Facebook page. So feel free to drop your own in there for your area locally too. Of course, call your representatives. I feel very fortunate that I live in a blue state with blue representatives who are being loud as they can be right now. But if you are in a red state, please be obnoxious. Like, make those phone calls, faxes, emails, all day long. Show up to town halls when they get there, because we are getting there. It's also important that you just know your rights, know what you can be doing legally, because again, as we've seen, women being carried out of town halls just for simply existing in a space and saying their piece, that's illegal. So like, know these things going into whatever it is you happen to be doing. Nonviolent protests are always legal in this country. So the final thing is what you've been doing here tonight, and that's simply connecting with other people. Get involved in your community, join up with like-minded people, and just keep connected, because what is it? Democracy dies in silence, right? So the connections you have now are more important than ever. There's obviously a million other calls to action that we could have on here, but just keep doing what you know you can. Take your breaks. We are being a collective for a reason. It's so that when one light cannot shine as bright, others can. Right? We got to take turns so that light can keep shining big, even if some flames are smaller than others, because we can't give 100% 100% of the time. Okay? And with that, you guys, my voice is out. Thank you all so much. Join us in the Facebook group, the Feminine Rage Collective. If you're not on Facebook, you can find us at our website, which just goes back to the YouTube or the Facebook page right now. We'll have our YouTube up there as well. This is going to be put on the YouTube channel, and we'll put it in the group as well. So we're just going to keep going, keep growing, hopefully keep smashing the patriarchy, keep hexing it on a daily, on a monthly basis, whatever we can do a little more every day. Thank you all so much. Oh, whoever put Lisa, thanks for putting the book in there.
Just wanted to let you know I shared the source material from a little bit of the hexing. So yeah.
Thank you. Oh, you all are lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dana.
Soon. Bye, everyone. Have a great night.